1 year ago, Darlington Council for Voluntary Services changed its name to eVOLution as part of a refocusing of skills it uses to help charities across the borough. Since the change, eVOLution has found itself as busy as ever, and the new look organisation has been very successful in its efforts to assist the third sector.
eVOLution is an infrastructure organisation which in fact looks after the interests of the voluntary sector, the third sector in Darlington, and we do this by providing quite a variety of services, IT as you see, distribution of information, arranging events, training, and a whole host of support activities for the voluntary sector. The organisation has been active for many years. It was formerly called the Darlington Council for Voluntary Service, and its principal activities at that time were matching volunteers to volunteer posts throughout the borough. It has changed dramatically, of course, since we started the rebranding. The Council for Voluntary Service had sort of run its course. It was getting a bit stale, and clients were less interested in the matching of volunteers. I'm much more interested in an organisation which would represent and look after the views of the sector as a whole.
When I first started living in Darlington, shortly after that I made contact with the CVS because it's always been one of those organisations that's interested me from when I've lived elsewhere. So for a spell I was a trustee on the board. I was doing various sorts of planning work for them and so on, particularly around these premises in fact. As an organisation that stands between the authorities, if you like, and organisations which are operating on the ground at the coalface, however you want to explain that, I think any town needs a sort, I won't say a go-between, but needs somebody to interpret what's happening at both ends of that. So, for example, local authority policy making, local authority discussions, PCT policy making discussions, and all that sort of thing needs to be brought down to an operational level, because individual organisations really don't have the capacity in terms of the amount of work that they can do to understand where the focus needs to be. So in that sense, eVOLution helps to put a focus on it for individual organisations.
I think eVOLution's been very successful. I think it's taken quite a time to embed the name, and lots of people have different ideas as to whether they like it or they don't, but it's certainly a name that encompasses who we are, and that we are completely and utterly involving to meet the needs of third sector organisations.
Karen Grundy tells us what people should do if they want to become involved.
All they have to do is either give us a call or pop in and just say that they would like to do something within either this organisation or another organisation, and then we'll spend a little bit of time with them and see where their interests lie and look at what we can do to help them become involved.